Not that Gareth Charles is biased or anything. Munster ripped into the Warriors from the outset. A try for Jason Holland. The reply by man of the match, Gethin Jenkins from the line-out. Munster hit back, exposing vulnerabilities in the Warriors' midfield. Anthony Horgan over in the corner. The Warriors had a lead at half-time, but then it seemed that those midfield frailties would lose them the game. Mike Mullins to Christian Cullen, the record-scoring All Black fullback. Munster back in the lead, but then, how about this for set-piece dominance? The Warriors with a pushover try. Richard Bryan, the scorer, and then Kerry Sweeney nailing home that advantage. 2 late penalties. As Gareth Charles said, a memorable game here at Sardis Road, won by the Warriors by 29 points to 25.
Yeah, let's have a look at the stats. Well, it's pretty even at the end, isn't it? But both halves were sort of 20-minute affairs, weren't they, for dominance by Munster and then the Warriors. In the opposition 22, have a look at that one. 15 for Munster, and they've lost the game. And I think when they look back, they will wonder, how did they lose it? But they gave away 13 penalties and 14 handling errors, which I think let the Warriors back in. They sort of turned over possession late on, crucially, which allowed sort of Neil Jenkins to put him in the positions from which they scored the points. And that is a magnificent win for the Warriors. But I think we said at half-time, they've got to sort their midfield defence out, and they got a chance. Well, they didn't sort it out, and they still won. But amazing game.
It was a good game, wasn't it? I suppose it is, I don't know, if there is a step down from Six Nations, you can carry a weakness, can't you? And get away with it.
I think that the Warriors will be mighty relieved they won that game. I think it was a fantastic performance. I think I agree with Gareth Charles. I think that this venue and the crowd played his part tonight, no question about that. But I think Alan Lewis will be wringing his hands when he looks at some of the tries that Munster scored, because they just, they ran through the middle of the Warriors' defence at will. I think Lynn Howells will be saying to them there, boys, great win, lots of character, lots of guts, but bit of work to do on the training field on Monday.
OK, but this level of competition is the building blocks for the future, and it's good to see players coming back after injury, players like Kevin Morgan.
Well, Kevin Morgan's had a wretched time, isn't he? You've got to feel for him. Just when he looks he's getting fit and things are going well for him, he picks up another injury. But this will give him a lot of confidence, because it was a lovely run. He didn't have too many opportunities, but broken field play, this is what he's good at. And just look at the little angle there from Sweeney, who comes in and, looking to offload Corey Harris and Richard Bryan, who I thought had a magnificent game at number 8. He must have pushed the man of the match award pretty hard. And again, you can see it from this lovely interplay.
You could tell that the penalty award was as important as getting over the goal line here. You're watching the referee's arm as much as anything.
But was it a penalty yet? I thought there were some harsh decisions on, it's particularly O'Callaghan and O'Connell. I think they must have been saying something to the referee, because he did pick on him on a few occasions. Yeah, we can have a look again at Kevin Morgan here. I think this will give him a lot of confidence, because he didn't have too many opportunities, and he set up a great position here. Good offloading in the tackle, but I think Jonathan picked it up in the commentary. When it went on one stage further, was that ball out? It was a tough call.
Tough call.
You have to be very careful what you do, don't you, at the ruck? If you're off your feet. And the referees,
but he was on his feet and the ball was out.
Well, he wasn't, but I don't think he was. He was certainly coming over horribly.
Half a dozen times that referee tonight put his hands out like this, saying the ball is out. Now, to me, then, that ball looked out. And, there were some decisions went against the Warriors, so it probably evened itself up, but it was a harsh one.
Good one, Jonathan. Good game.
Great game, and it's nice to be back here. The atmosphere was immense out there, and I think something about this place, isn't there? Every time you come in, if it was 4,000 here, that's all. There'll be several new players here next year, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Great for Neil Jenkins as well, I think, because it could be his last game. And I know you were crying for him to have that last penalty.
I was, and you called me a soppy old romantic.
Well, I think the Sweeney was playing well, and he was knocking him over, so he had to stay with it.
Last game at Sardis for Neil Jenkins. It is the end of an age, an era.
What about that defence in midfield?
Oh, yeah, for goodness sake, get a tear in your eyes, boys.
You'll see me, I listen to you. I know the defence wasn't great. In the midfield, it was very, very easy. Dummy run, inside ball, and they didn't get it right. And they pulled all the stops out to get this result, but they made it difficult for themselves, because they were dangerous, but they didn't create much. They were missed tackles or badly organised defence. So it was hard work to come back from positions that they shouldn't have been in.
Just to update you on some scores elsewhere, 70 minutes have been played. The Scarlets up in the Borders are leading by 27 points to 8. Let's just have a little check on what this does for the Warriors. Whenever I look at the table, the Warriors are always in 4th place, and they are still in 4th place.
Yeah, I think they'll rue some of the games that got away from them, in the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks, because 48 points there, only 9 points off the top, and really they should have been challenging for the title, but I think they just, they lost form at a crucial time, didn't they? But all about now getting themselves safe and away from the Blues to make sure they get a Heineken Cup spot for next year.
Yeah, they were flat in previous encounters we saw down in Bridgend. They were very, very flat. And, not for me to say, but if this game would have been in Bridgend tonight, would they have won it?
Yes.
Because I thought the atmosphere in the crowd were immense. And there was a lot of, I've spoken to a lot of Bridgend fans up here tonight as well, so they don't really care where they
so much time with Gareth Charles, you are biased.
No, I'm not. Yes, no.
Another update after 70 minutes. Edinburgh 14, Dragons 13. Interviews. Stuart.
Yeah, thanks very much, Eddie. Well, I'm joined by a couple of the star performers of tonight. First of all, Gethin Jenkins. Not often the big boys up front get the credit they deserve, but Jonathan Davis is man of the match, so congratulations on that. Halfway through the game, we figured one of the Warriors pack had to step forward, and you were the man.
Yeah, it was nice to get my first try of the season, and it was a good win back on home turf.
A lot of discussion as well about the fact you're back on the loose. I mean, you're having a magnificent season, but you were up for it tonight. You did some damage on the left-hand side of that scrum.
Yeah, we had a bit of joy in the scrum tonight, and I think in the end, with the pushover try, it helped us. And towards the end of the game, I think the forwards dominated.
That takes some doing against a Munster pack. They've got a great reputation. They had 4 internationals coming back tonight, and some effort.
Yeah, we've worked all week on line-out defence and working hard in their scrum, and I think it paid dividends. They had a couple of missing. The front row was missing, so that made a difference, I think.
Well, you made him pay. Let's bring in the maestro behind. Kerry, it was quite a battle up front. You had your work cut out tonight as well behind, because it was a great opening from Munster, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we struggled a bit behind defensively, and we got stuck a bit in the centres. I think their centres played a bit of havoc out in the middle there, but swapping positions all the time as well. It was in 12, 13. There's been a couple of hairy moments there, but we dug in at the end, and that's a good team performance by us today.
Yeah, some big guys cutting through the middle there, but both halves the same. They started very strongly in each half. You had a lot of coming back to do. It's a sign of the character in the squad, perhaps.
Yeah, I think so. I think the boys coming back from the Welsh squad as well has helped the team. It's a big competition for places now, and that's just brought that for the game tonight.
And whilst you guys have been away on international duty, the results haven't been going as well as perhaps the Warriors would have wanted. But that's put a lot of things right tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, all credit must go to the boys that have been plugging in their week and week out when the Welsh boys have been away. They set the standard as well, and unfortunately the run of games haven't gone for them the last couple of weeks, but hopefully we can build on this week and carry on every week.
Thanks for talking to us, guys. Well done tonight.
I wanted to replay the pushover scrum galore, but you've selected Christian Cullen's try.
Yeah, I think that they showed what the problem was for the Warriors. I think that on this occasion they were drifting too hard, and I think we got Corey Harris and Sweeney. They're in great positions here, we can see, to make the tackles, but they are drifting so hard to get out wide that when Mike Collins comes back on the angle, we know Kelly Sweeney, he doesn't lack for bottle, he was just a sort of tackle line there, but Christian Cullen just drifted up on the outside, and that was a lovely try. And after that you thought, there's no way back for the Warriors here, but all credit to them, they really stuck in.
The Warriors are bolstered in their quest for that Heineken Cup spot.
Yeah, they'd be relieved.
Yeah.
They've had a shocking run of results, and they haven't played well, and tonight really now sets them up. The international players are back. They were a different side. They played with a lot of pace, extra pace, and they had a bit of a cutting edge there with Gareth Thomas to come back as well. I can't see them getting caught now down in the 5th spot.
They've only got one more home game though, haven't they? They've got a few games on the road to play, so they're going to have to pick up their form away from there.
Yeah, and so the quest for that last Heineken Cup spot will go on.